as long as I agree.
From a multi-storey property to a very small cottage now, as we head back to North Shields, where earlier I met father of three and local man Ian, who, for a bargain price of just £54,000, had bought this quirky one-bedroom property. Ian owns an electrical contracting company, but had aspirations of moving permanently into property renovation.
Tell me, if it's not obvious, why you wanted to buy this little place?
We've seen it quite a few years back, me and my wife, when we were first looking for properties, and when it came up for sale, it just seemed meant to be. You know, when we came to view it, I knew I wanted to buy it straight away.
Right, it's a really sort of unusual little location and
yeah,
you know, little collection of these little houses, isn't it?
It is, yeah, it's very quirky.
It was small, but it most definitely wasn't perfectly formed. There was potential, but this little house was a big project. The kitchen swamped the tiny, dark living space. And as for the upstairs, an unfortunately positioned ceiling tie and really poor layout might have had most of us heading for the hills. 7 months later, look at it now. Has transformed this from a dark, cramped space into a modern and bright kitchen diner. Moving the galley kitchen to the back of the property and taking down stud walls to open it up to the living space is a masterstroke. Upstairs, the bedroom has been stripped back, plastered and decorated. And by creating a false wall directly behind the stairs, Ian's been able to create an ensuite bathroom complete with shower. Also, after checking the plans, he's been able to remove the beam tie and make it more of a feature than a worrying eyesore.
I got a few expert opinions on the beam. And it was completely safe to remove. I mean, it's got far more support than what it actually needs. I wouldn't advise anybody to remove it unless you get advice.
I'll second that. Ian's fondness for this property shines through, though, with the quality of this renovation. Now, one of my favourite things about this lovingly restored cottage. Just look at that original parquet flooring.
One of the features we found when we first came into the property was the parquet flooring. There was a lot of kitchen units, furniture covering it, and we didn't really realise what was going to be underneath it. When we exposed it, we realised it was a full floor of parquet, hence we tried to restore it as best we could. When the lads came in, they've done a fantastic job. Obviously I called a bunch of professionals who were good in restoring nice flooring like this. And they've done an amazing job, and it's one of the biggest keys to the property, to be honest.
I have to say I agree. Aside from the flooring, Ian's done all the work here himself, which just makes it even more impressive. It wasn't all plain sailing though. Due to complicated covenant details delaying him, Ian has actually only owned the house for 2 months, and astonishingly, he's done most of this work in 4 weeks.
When I set my heart into a job, I kind of go full stretch at it till I'm finished. But yeah, I'm pleased with how quick I got it done. It came in quite far under budget. We've actually spent $6,800 on the whole property. So obviously in terms of the budget, we've kind of squashed it. I was just very careful. We hit the bargains, and obviously try to make the most of everything we've got.
So, half the time frame and over £3,000 under the original budget. That's not squashed, Ian, it's smashed.
do think there's a nice tidy profit in the property. Currently we've had one offer on the property already before it was even finished. So we're obviously playing with that and seeing how that offer stands.
With a total spend here of just under 61,000, Ian is right to consider offers. But before he does, we asked two local property experts along to take a look. First, the agent who wasn't short of a few ideas for the property herself.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's actually more than what I've expected. It's fantastic. Brilliant.
This is certainly a property that should appeal to a variety of buyers. It's certainly something a little different from the norm, offering well-balanced living space with a nice modern kitchen and nice modern bathroom.
I would currently estimate putting this property on the rental market for £550 per calendar month.
I would expect to realise a rental figure of £550 per calendar month.
Wow, that's more than what I thought. I was expecting about £450, so that's quite appealing actually. Yeah.
Ian's interested in selling, but that yield of 10% and the fact he's increased the value by £150 a month from the original valuation might be tempting. But what about the sale value? He spent a total of just under £61,000.
I would put this property on the market at £105,000.
I would envisage a asking price of £105,000.
Wow. That's rather nice. That's actually a lot more than what I was expecting. Yeah. I mean, when I initially did the project, I was aiming for 90, so to come out with 105, that's pretty fantastic, actually.
After working his socks off and transforming this property, Ian has been rewarded with a valuation that could potentially bring a pre-tax profit of £44,000. Time to quit the day job and go full-time then?
I don't know if we get this kind of return. I think this is a pretty fantastic return for 4 weeks' work. But if we could, hey-ho, keep them coming.
Join us.